Hello friends, at this island where all the people had slept and did not even get up. But what happened there was finally in this bay. In the beginning of the story, we go to decipher a reporter named Samuel. All people did not know why they were sleeping, so Yahweh many days beat was so far and none of them did not have to pick up Samuel then pull them all. The chahta is not a dangerous, the person had become so far that he had slept there. He did not take back, but it was not as simple as being seen in the sari. Whatever people were doing their own, they had fallen on the same place in the supermarket. Swimming time was also the whole of Ireland's house. The body of all those people was absolutely normal, but all the two were not raised from both of them. There was one thing to sleep, that the impact of this pedestrian was just living on Ireland. There was nothing to be done from the outside. That's why there was nothing going on. For the scientists there is a cast there to do some research, but Little has not yet known that this sorry thing has happened. Now how to keep an eye on all those people? Those who have started sharing the tags of all the people who have slept, so that everyone living on Iron could be identified. It was completely Sultan, and there was a lot to come in here. Not for the Simul, he entered inside Dead Island without anybody, before Samuel had reached a bus, in which all the people who are sleeping in obviously, the sorry thing was not less than a horror film. With a woman's hand to take rocky goldfish in the water, with which she started talking to Litter because she was a live thing which was getting a movie, and now it goes to a house after finding a lot, but now she had seen a lady Zoe. Stellar was also in a deep sleep like the rest of the Simmer Taylor and went to another room and went to Sony. Otherwise he went to Sailor's bed and goes to sleep with him, and he went to Stellar, although the privacy was also considered to be a perfect area, though it was keeping the entire area in scientific monitoring, so that Samuel had slept immediately and he has seen a very good dream, in which he reached the supermarket. Samuel was looking at Stellar. It was present in the supermarket, but it was trying to talk to Samaz Taylor, but also in the dream of Semi. It does not give a sense in our poor sandwich dream. Now after the Samuel gets ready, it is very ready. It was alone that he had started talking to the cotton oil, and he went out to take a little more fun, to take a fun. Family did notice that the dog cat is absolutely normal. Probably not only the Spendenter's effect. It would have been a lot to travel in a church where many group of people had fallen in the same way. The first time there was a very good photos, and they sat on the other side and they started sitting on their eyes. Samuel goes into his dream, which was seeing Stellar in front of him. Both of them started talking after giving each other their entrance. It was very serious that the Semi was on the silent, while the Stellar was putting a sense that the Similes may have come here to give even better content to their reporting company. That means that he was definitely a lot of money, but included that now the motive is nothing else, and now it seems that the House of Stool went to the House of Stamel after getting up, and now went from his dream, which Stellar had made her sorry things such as what she likes and what is going to do as it is. It was a tummy talking to his dream. Umesh Taylor, stabbed in the talk button, could have been telling Sony for so many weeks that there is a completely decking where you can do nothing, then I will come only a strange type of feed. Perhaps you did not even connect to you, then these sorry was listening quite a lot, and now they spend many days. Shamil was still on his adventure. He goes to his neighborhood where he had seen attacks heavily from balloon. If you find it, then it seems to be a group of scientists at the place. Semi had seen them immediately. That's why they went back in some house without having a little disturbed by these sorry things. Decide that it will be run away from the silent as soon as possible. Then he saw that the sea of the sea had absolutely happily, that is, I will not be able to go back to Stellar's house in compulsion, but when the tap of the kitchen came at home, then the kitchen was turned on itself, but if it was included, it was becoming a tap. This sari thing was becoming even more scurry and now it seems to be aware of Stellar from Semophile. The purpose was asking after going to the real things. Actually, the Tamid had found a year ago from the cell in the seaman was very good, although seaman wanted to take their number, but Stellar went from there and now the cell find out in the biggest purpose of finding it, it became the biggest purpose of it. It goes in a supermarket in reality and all the people were absolutely slept, that is, the CM could take anything in this entire supermarket and only then there are two scientists on the place that they found after seeing Sony's acting on the same time. The scientist also went to the soya mother, and now it was enjoying it very much in the entire supermarket. Socias were bought and also on the litter cashier. Since then, we have taken all the society at Stellar's house. It was very important to have a lot of things that their notebooks were rushed in his room and small toys can also know what to know about Stellar and what does not. Get a tape recorder involved in the cell room, in which Stellar recorded a lot of things like what he wants to do and wanted to do. That girl's flamingo bird and very Saray books were good. And there was no one to go to the holiday where there is no one and its soulmate is present, so that the sari is very good, it is very relief and now she is here. It was back to the imagination that Stellar had seen him in front of him that he went on between him and he wanted to sit in any tax and wanted to go from there. We could not bang Turkish but it was believed that he was not banged but he was not after taking the keys of the village and after taking the keys. Both of them were removed from the middle. There was only one in their ambitious immunization. Now it had to hide the Samel and had to hide because all the scientists in the house. The time used to check it that no sleep was not taken out and now the whole day of CM used to go to Gujjar in the same way. He has started to love Stellar that he constantly thinks in the big way when he was talking to Stellar in his immunization again. It is a relief that Stellar is a relief in the biggest of solemn and a boy and the girl loves each other and passes with her puri life together and wanted to convey to Stellar that she started loving her. And the thing about Australia is absolutely it was not good that it was of the seller that he did not know in the big minute and he knows so much that he did not love him. Although it was an imagination of the sari thing included and the story has lying in these sari things in his mind and now he doesn't. It was that he will be run from this whole island but he remembers him back in the way that he could not remove it out of the silent. The compulsion has to go back to the house and now it was just like he was not able to control his emission. He also came in the relationship with his dreams and has also passed a good fruit with him, but Australia's fear of afraid came in front of the camel, which was one of the boyfriends who had already been relieved in the second city. And that marriage will also do this by saying that Stellar is absolutely disappearing in the darkness. It was not just a sense of the cast that it was finally deteriorating with her. She did not know anything about the horror type. The dream was also seen and this dream was completely random and accurate, and wanted to get out of the saris and wanted to get out of it, so that it started writing a sari thing in the big way. When the lock came into consciousness, he knew the sari thing in his big and now whose fear was that it also falls in a deep sleep, that is, now that he was not able to get up. But now one day the oil Stellar shows that he is so much from Meena. Choker was raised in his body, as if he was not able to get the energy. He was falling repeatedly in the way Stellar starts to drink immediately and now it started drinking water and now after making a little butter flour, she went to the washroom. It has been found that there is no more in this room and then go and see Semi on the couch. Stellar was raising a madman like a madman and the Semi was going to get rid of it and did not say anything to the channel after trying to raise many times. But when he looked at his room, he had a sari thing in his room, which he liked, like Barbie girl's doll and the big flaming of bird. Salah also gets a letter which he wrote before Sony. Stellar curiously sat down to read him, in which Shamil's saris and its experiences were present, and now after reading the sari thing, Stella realizes that Semi did not tell the story in the time he slept. She also kept her thought, but now it was a great dream of Samuel. Whenever she was sleeping, the dream of Samuel was telling her to sit in front of him, and she was telling her that she is always a Solem and she will always take care of it because she flows some connection with Stella. Then it was going to look at this dream repeatedly and it started taking care of him like Australia. Many days were beaten in a manner, but when one day is a nearby cast, Samuel was not there and now involved in reality, and Stella first looked at each other, but both of them did not react more because such an incident was done with them, such as they were known for each other, but now in reality wanted to befriend each other. And perhaps in both the relationship, both of our relationships are in the same way.